What's up, brothers and sisters? This your brother G World. I'm going to do another video. I want to hopefully do it by Wednesday, like I said before. But this is just a quick, I guess you say, rant. A few things I want to say. Because earlier I was driving. Um, I want, like I was saying, basically continuing what I was saying in the other video. Is this just put in the research, brothers and sisters? Just do the research and put in the research. Because if we don't do it ourselves, do the research and study our own history and put in the work ourselves, man, you're gonna continue to get outsiders to distort our history. Like I mentioned, that idiot Angel Ramirez Jordan, man. That clown is not even an Aboriginal Black American, man. He is basically he's Puerto Rican and Jamaican. And he's telling Black Americans who we are. Not as idiots talking about the DNA, man. That DNA stuff is totally entertainment and it's a scam. But unfortunately, man, some of my people in a desperate thirst to try to link themselves to Africa, man, it's really showing how desperate they are. But for that clown, and I said this before on Sunday, to tell us who the hell we are and stop us from identifying with our rich ancestral heritage here in this country, man. He's letting you know he's an enemy to our people. He's a big time enemy. And that's someone, man, that you should never trust. That little weasel, man, is absolutely no good. Read, like I said before, read a few books probably by Dr. John Clark or Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, and you listen to that little weasel when he runs his mouth, man, he don't know what the hell he talking about, man. Like most of them don't. I can go down the line. You listen to them, most of them don't, because they haven't done no real research. They just went to their little HBCU school or their PWI institution and read books that their white and Negro professor told them to read and study. And now they're going around teaching that lie online. You know, some of them might be little tutors miseducating our youth, and they had no business teaching our youth. If you do not know or still refuse to see that the original Indians of the Americas were so-called black people, and the black people here who are labeled as African American are not the true and original Indians, man, and you still sit there saying it's something else, you are an enemy. Because there's too much research out. There's too much information out there that tells you this, man. It's too much information. There's too much information. And to keep denying this, man, it's disgusting. It really is. But that little bastard weasel is playing the black community, particularly black women. I said that on Sunday. He continues to make attacks on black people who identify themselves as Aboriginal. He's a little weasel asshole who needs to go somewhere. And his main thing is insulting our community. We got to put that Negro in his place. And he's not the only one. There's a couple of them other ones, man, who I've mentioned before. In fact, there's a bunch of them. They have not done no real research. They need to sit their ass down and go somewhere. Because all they're doing is continue to do damage. Continue to miseducate our people. We have to stop this. Like I said, I wouldn't send no kids to no Umar Johnson school. or he's going to indoctrinate them, claiming that they're foreigners in their own damn land. Tell them that they're African, which they're not African. We're not African, man. And I said this before over and over again. I'm going to continue to say this. It has nothing to do with us, quote, hating ourselves. It's for us knowing that who we really are, and we are indigenous to this damn land. This is our land. And if you Negroes don't like it, if you Negroes want to be African so bad, go to Africa. But we are indigenous to America. This is our land. And I'm not going to allow somebody who's not from here, even who has, quote, dark skin like me, tell me that I'm a foreigner. Because even if you have dark skin and you're saying this, like I said this over and over again, you are an enemy just like the pale face. You're doing damage. You cannot speak in our people's plight, our people's issue, what we've been through in this country, how we've been reclassified, because you're not of the bloodline, and you're being very arrogant at what you're doing, and ignorant. Can't nobody speak on our history better than us. But unfortunately, some of us have been so indoctrinated, brainwashed. So we believe everything paleface have told us. I'm telling you, once you do the research, you'll see the truth. And unfortunately, some of our people don't want to see the truth. But when you see that truth and it opens you up so much, it opens you up to a new frame of thinking and understanding the greatness about our people. But right now, our people have been put in a 400-year time gap, or time warp. And we're beyond that 400 years here. Y'all Negroes gotta stop that, man. What you're doing is very destructive. You're not studying your history. You have to dig deep for it. You only studying stuff from a surface level. You're going to have to break the glass, tear up the grass, dig deep in the dirt, because our history has been hidden, deeply hidden, especially our true history in America. It has been deeply hidden from us. But when you have assholes like Angel Maris Jordan running his mouth, who's not of the bloodline of the people here, tells you how far people go to hide our history. And they use people who have our skin tone to help distort our history. I repeat this over and over again. Do not listen to mainstream Negroes. They're very destructive. They're very ignorant. And all they do is want a biscuit and a rub on their head from paleface. Do not listen to them. I have encountered and I've basically been dealing with them all my life. I grew up around Boule Negroes. So I know how they get down. I know about the Jack and Jill Negroes. I grew up around them. These are some fake ass Negroes whose main concern is to be white or, quote, imitate what white folks do. These Boule Negroes and their different clubs or their little organizations continue to hustle the everyday Aboriginal black community. They've been doing this mess for years. I know about them. I've lived amongst them. These are scumbags. Do not listen to them. I had them as teachers, and they continue to regurgitate white lies. And when you challenge them, man, they're just as bad as the white folks. So I'm telling you now to do your own research. Do your own research. The Amara Squad, Sonetta, Real Team History, BGS, More, From Nothing, Angel Ramirez, Jordan, New Possibilities. I'm going down the line, man. Those are mainstream coons. They're mainstream coons. All of them, man. They're mainstream coons. Do not listen to them. Really, do not listen to them. I tell you this over and over again. Do your own research. Don't even just listen to me. Do your own research. And you will see that our people were indigenous to this planet. And not all so-called black people are African. To make this clear. Because many black scholars try to. They will admit, some will admit that the original people here were black. But then they try to Africanize it. We're not all African. There was constantly trade and movement amongst our people globally. We sailed on ships. And I told you the deep sea travel, they use them wooden ships. They use other ships, but they use specifically wooden ships. So the travel was done hitting those rough waters using those wooden ships. So I really want us to really study our history. I have nothing to do with no Pan-Africanism. I don't want nothing to do with, quote, Afrocentricity. None of this stuff. I can remember back in the day how I was into that, but then I shifted from that because I realized that all them dudes was talking about Egypt, and then they started talking about West African empires. They didn't talk about the brothers and sisters in Asia, and they sure as hell didn't talk about the brothers and sisters here. If you listen to most of those Pan-Africans, all they talk about is Africa, black folks in Europe, and the blacks here in the Americas. They ignore black folks in the Pacific and ignore black people in Australia. And most of those Negroes over there, you know, like in Australia, a lot of them believe that they originated from Australia, not Africa. Because they've been there for thousands of years. They've been there for thousands of years. So how long are you going to be an African anyway? So the white folks are Australian, while the black people there who are indigenous there, they're African. Man, get the hell up out of here, man. Get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here with that foolishness, man. Get that one clown gonna come on my page and say the black nobility in Europe, they're African. And you fall trapped on the white folks, and that's how the white folks steal identity of the black people there. They claim themselves as European, which the true European are black people in the first place. But your dumb ass gonna come to my page telling me they just African. Telling me you don't know what the hell you talking about. But this is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. A lot of stuff I'm giving to you comes from the two set of encyclopedias that was given to me by my father and my brother. One of my brothers. So I have two sets of encyclopedias, of Compton encyclopedias. So I've done reading and research on this for years, man. We are not African. Our culture is beautiful and is unique. Alright? And when you hear other people trying to steal our history and culture, people who even look like us, but who come from somewhere else and just trying to steal our history and culture, it's insulting, man. And it doesn't apply to all, but there's just too many who's doing this. Like jazz music is Black American music, Aboriginal Black American music. So is blues music. You know, so is hip hop music or rap music. It comes from blacks here, but it's sad that now you got the people who look like us want to steal that, as was jazz, as was blues, as was soul. All that comes from the Aboriginal black culture here in America. You know, it's really, it's I say it's sickening over and over again, but it's truly sad. It can get to a depressing state. I'm not depressed, but it gets to a depressing state. Why our people have not really studied our history. I have disagreements with Dane Calloway, all right, but what he's saying about black people are indigenous to America, that he's 100% correct, man. He's 100% correct. And the people who are attacking him, you need to question them. You really do. Because they're giving you, because he's like I said, I have my disagreements, but he's telling you the truth. That the original people here in America look like us. And all these other people are foreigners and they're invaders. And they've hijacked our identity, so they're frauds. And they are the enemy. And then you get people like Henry Louis Gates, who had these people taking these little bogus ass entertainment DNA tests, man. That stuff is a joke. It was a guy who had his dog take the DNA test and it came back he was supposedly Native American. That stuff's a joke, man. You can't believe in that stuff. But it's sad that because some white man put something out front, you Negroes gonna believe that. It's sad. That tells you your so-called educated black class. I grew up around them, man. The so-called educated black class, nothing but a bunch of educated jackasses. Really miseducated. I grew up around them, man. I grew up around them Negroes. And I'm telling you right now, do not listen to them. Take the time to do the research, and you will see. You'll see. But you got to do the work. Oh man, it's getting to be hilarious now, man. These Negroes, I traced my ancestors, and they go back to Africa. My great grandmother was a slave, and she did. Oh, shut your ass up, man. These Negroes are dumb as hell. Some of them, man. It really is amazing. Everything you trace, you just a slave. Man, it's really that bad. Oh well. Learn your true history, brothers and sisters, man. Learn who you really are. And trust me, not only is it rewarding, but you're going to love it. Learn who you really are. Your real history. Peace and love.